Guys, that's my very first time meeting SHEBA, man. My very first time actually meeting SHEBA right there. She's a fun lady, I ain't gonna lie. She's a fun lady, no doubt about it. And of course, she was actually at the Salisbury Vibrations. But with that said, guys, welcome back to another Mystelics Reacts channel, guys. The very second one. The very first one will be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. So definitely check that out right there. And with that said, guys, welcome to the Mystelics YouTube family. I've definitely tuned into another reaction video. And of course, the newcomers are there. Big up on yourself as well for definitely tuning into this here reaction video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notifications. So you'll be pretty much getting that vibrations right there when I get when I drop my videos right there, guys. And of course, for the Mystelics family, click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that, guys. Click the thumbs up button. And some of all you don't actually subscribe yet, you know. Alright then, click subscribe, click the bell, and then click all, and you'll be pretty much notified when I drop my videos right there and then. Now guys, in this one, we're going to be reacting to THOMSON Fontaine, who I think is out of all the leadership at present right now, I think he's the best out of the best when it comes down to trying to bring back Dominica. On the basis of Skerrit, I think Skerrit can actually do something, but Skerrit is wicked. Skerrit seeing things that need to be done and does not do it simply on the basis of his New World Order agenda, which is of course taking things away from people so that the people can be surely dependent on the government, which is not a good thing for the people, because then the people are going to be controlled by the government. Whatever the government then says, you have to abide by it, or you will lose the resources that which the government then provides you by. This is why I always tell people about being careful about the digital currency. Yes, the digital currency seems to be nice, and yes, we need to let's move into digital, guys. Once you move into digital, people can limit your ability to use the digital monies, especially if they're moving in and they have their own digital currency and decided, hey, this is the money we're gonna be using. This is the digital currency that we're gonna be using, and they limit your ability to actually utilize that money. They can stop your bank from working. Whereas you can actually get the physical monies, even if they stop your bank account, you can get the physical money and still go to different places to buy things. This is what I'm telling people. You have to be mindful of what is going on. Even though it sounds nice and sweet, Dominica is looking into going into cryptocurrency. That is a very dangerous, it's a nice, wonderful thing. Yes, true. But it's very dangerous as well, brothers and sisters. And I always tell people, be mindful of these kind of things there. They put things into digital where they can control it, and if they can control it, they will control you. Then somebody else can say, oh, let me share my digital currency with you. No, they block your stuff. Even if they try to share it, they won't get it, and they themselves might be penalized for it. So you understand, guys, it's important. I'm putting this in front of the video so that people can understand this whole thing. Anyways, let's get into the vibrations with THOMSON Fontaine. Dr. THOMSON Fontaine.
They're witnessing.
By the way, guys, the link of this will be in the first comment in the comment box below as well. The link of this will be in the first comment in the comment box below as well, guys. But of course, for those of you who want to see my reactions, hey, here we go.
Administration bent on destroying his opposition.
True.
And on staying in office at all costs. They are saying a prime minister who promises one thing on election reform and does another.
Amen.
It is clear that this country of ours cannot continue to go down that path.
Nope.
And our stand on 6 December, and to use the word of US President Roosevelt, on a day that will go down in infamy, is to stand our ground, to not give up.
That will definitely go down in history, no doubt about it.
But rather to keep pushing until that day when there are free and fair elections in Dominica.
Yes, sir, that is a kind of history, and we are part of it. We're part of the history. Where man sabotaged Dominica's democracy. We are part of this. A man from Dominica himself, not foreign, you know. Not like Patrick John trying to bring KKK inside Dominica and try to, not like that, you know. Our very own is literally going towards the agendas of the bigger heads, the secret heads on top, whoever they are. I was going to say something in this regard, but let me shh.
In the past several days, our party met with observers from the OAS, from CARICOM, and from the Commonwealth Secretariat. We laid out our case why our elections are tainted, and why as a party we could not participate.
By the way, OAS already knows that the elections are tainted. They already know this. It's just that they're going off the laws that are written in Dominica, which of course needs to be changed. They have stated this before, but it's not changed. This is why there needs to be a revamping of this whole thing right there.
We described the bloated voters list with over 75,000 people in a population of 72,000.
So all you giving the population too much, eh? All you giving Dominica population too much. I said about 45, 50 tau. You see me? Definitely not 70 tau plus. No, sir. Dominica going down the drain. What people do in Dominica? What still 70? Oh, I tell you, boy. Maybe they talk. Let me leave that alone.
We described only Coco Macaque.
Coco Macaque.
For example, the widespread bribery and cheating of past elections.
That's very evident to see. Very evident. I know. Some of which are on my videos. I've been to some of them. Oh my goodness.
We described the lack of access to DBS radio and a court system that is clearly biased against the opposition.
And it's interesting that Skerrit wanted this present independent candidate to come on DBS to further legitimize this election. He knows the people that he puts on DBS will have no chance of winning whatsoever. And it's very clear, all of them, every single person that was on DBS lost their deposit. They lost their deposit, they lost their money. I warned them, I tell them they further legitimizing Skerrit's election. Or they doesn't hear. Who doesn't hear will feel. Don't come asking me for ticket. No, all right. I don't have. All right.
And where it was clear that he would never get any redress. Here is what our highest court, the CCJ, had to say when he got a chance to finally look at the cautioning. And that's why I call it cautioning. It's nonsense really taking place in Dominica.
Fully dance vibe. Fully dance.
And this was following the 2019 elections, petitions that were filed by Glenroy Coffey, Oswald George, and Anthony Robin against Melissa Skerrit et al., in which they challenged the legality of the election of several DLP candidates.
That's how we see the planes. We see the planes. We saw the videos of people packing up, jam-packing airport, trying to get free ticket to come to Dominica. We saw these videos. We saw them, people. You saw the planes, you saw the cruises, you saw all kinds of things. And you think it's free elections are there, my brother, free and fair elections. I have a friend from SM that come and get paid. But not really my friend, but a friend, you know. Get paid to come Dominica, get their money and go back, of course.
And I quote the court. Quote, the court found that the petitions before the judge were not determined on their merits. They were determined at an intermediate stage before the taking of evidence and before the judge rendered any determination on whether any person was or was not validly elected as a representative. Did you hear what I just read? A High Court judge decided before hearing any evidence that there was no evidence to consider. Imagine you were charged and you go before a court and the court said, I don't want to hear you, forget the evidence, forget the fingerprints, forget this, forget the other. And that is what the court was saying.
When there's ample evidence out there, there was even a man on TV saying about they should have beat him earlier. They should have beat him earlier. They said, come and vote for Skerrit and they'll give you a house. He said this. He said this. You get a house, groundbreaking ceremony, whatever, shaking hand, talking about they should have beat him earlier.
They held this High Court judge to account. And so what happened was we actually lost on a technicality. It was not because we did not have the evidence. And let me continue with what the judge says, what the CCD says. It says that the judge, at this time Judge Glasgow, he failed the people of Dominica by not listening to the evidence.
And there were evidence, ample evidence out there. When man coming on stage, they say, oh, it's not a political thing. Man coming on stage, putting their red shirt on and then telling you who to vote for. You know, treating the individuals and then trying to entice them to come and vote for you.
And making a determination on the strength of that evidence. It was that technicality which prevented the 2019 elections from being overturned.
Yes.
According to the CCJ, because the High Court judge did not hear the case on its merits, his decision could not be final, and therefore the Court of Appeal was right in not taking up the appeal. Let me explain that to you.
Explain.
What the court said was, because he did not follow through on the case, it meant that the case was not final, and you can only appeal a final judgment. Okay. And the judge knew that. He knew that. He must have known. He must have known that if you don't have a final judgment, the appeals court cannot hear it. Yep. So when it was taken to the appeals court, they said, well, we are sorry, there's nothing we can do. But the CCJ thought that they were also in error. The CCJ told the appeals court that on this critical matter that went to the heart of democracy in Dominica, you were supposed to have listened on constitutional grounds.
Yep.
So that is the issue that we have. And that's why we said we cannot win because they'll bring the people down. We go to court, the court brushes aside.
Then you take them to the appeals court. The previous court didn't hear the case. It's not finalized. So the appeals court cannot do nothing about it. You see how they loop in the system? But that means one thing, that the very high court is bought. Justice, you know, that day. This is why the Wednesday workers tend to work for what? Justice, peace, and prosperity first justice. And the very individuals who handle justice are not being justice, are being injustice, are being unjustified, brothers and sisters, to carry out the work that they need to be doing. So then when the youth growing up and they see this, hey, look at what is happening, and they become delinquents in society, then we say, but where they learn that from? It goes in the head. The head's supposed to be the leader, the very role model. We're supposed to look at the prime minister as a role model. Can we then point to the prime minister who likes to lie, just lie for no reason? Well, he wants to keep his power. So lie for him to maintain power. Bringing monies to his people so that they can vote for him. Selling the people, selling themselves. Boy, let me continue.
So we said we're not taking part. No paka puepa. No pasa.
The pasa treatment. What I mean, guys, I hear that song. No pasa treatment. Ah, yeah. It have a song like that. I not working. Is it now? I don't know.
Let me quote one more quote. In fact, two more quotes from the CCJ. And if you have a chance, you need to read the CCJ decision. It says, and I quote, striking out pleadings altogether could deprive a petitioner entirely of the right to a trial. A judge should therefore very sparingly adopt such a draconian measure. Indeed, the judge is in no position to decide at this stage the merits of a contested case. Nor should the judge strike out pleadings if there are enough facts pleaded that, if established, would show that the elections were a sham, or that a different result would have been declared, and the respondents have a reasonable appreciation of the evidence with which they would be faced at trial. In other words, the judge was saying, or the CCJ is saying, that if they had behaved as a proper court would have behaved, that they should have in fact listened to the evidence.
I was just saying that there. We don't have a proper system. The system that we are expecting to provide justice is unjust. How can a man be so unjust? Ooh, you know this already.
Because it was quite possible that it would have shown, because they saw the evidence, the CCJ saw the evidence, and they said, based on what they have seen, it is possible that the court would have decided that this 2019 elections were a sham.
But they threw it out.
They went on to say, and I'm taking time on this because that's very important.
Take time, boo.
Because we have heard people say, well, why did you not take part? Well, here is the reason. I'm giving it to you tonight.
Talk to us, man.
there can be no doubt that this particular decision by the Court of Appeal conclusively preempted any further inquiry into arguably unlawful conduct by the election authorities that potentially went to the root of free and fair elections. Magrisa. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hear what I'm reading? You hear what the CCJ is saying? That by the behavior of this judge, the hands of the appeals court were tied, but what it did in the end, it prevented the petitioners, it prevented Soso Kofi and the others from getting redress, and potentially, and he said potentially went to the very root of free and fair elections in Dominica. You know, I've heard endless criticism of the opposition, but this is what we're up against. A court system that was clearly biased against us. Completely biased. We have the evidence. We have the list of persons who came down illegally. We have the list of dead persons voting. In most countries, the conduct of the 2019 election, any court worth its salt would have overturned those results. But not so in Dominica. And
because the courts are bought. Scared smart, or whoever that teaching scared, that person smart. Make sure you put, and this has happened in Venezuela and a number of other places. I studied this kind of thing long time before it happened. I said it's scared to put his people in the right set of positions. So even if you were to go to the education minister to try to do things, I think that's the basis of the education I was talking about, to try to get things done. You go to the education minister, it ends up on a dead letter. You go to the police on top, it ends up on a dead letter. You go to the justice system, it ends up on a dead letter. He puts his people in the right positions to maintain that he himself stays in power. Interesting, ain't it?
Expect us to keep on fighting a losing battle.
That's why I don't understand why the independent people went. Look at how bad you did. Look at how bad you did. You got DBS radio too. And I want them. I want them because, guys, let me tell you something. Some of them, about 6 or 7 of them, reach out to me, you know, the independent candidate, for me to do it, for me to either do videos for them or for me to promote them. I tell them I'm not in it. Some of them I send them to other people to go and do their videos for them. I wasn't part of it. They was planning to pay me and thing. I said no, ma'am, because I already no, ma'am, no, sir, because I already know how it's gonna end up. And all of them lose their deposit. All. Then some of them will come and beg you and say, hey, lad, give me a little something now. After you want them. That's one of the things I always tell my friends that, you know, I can be the bestest friend in the world. Help you out, show you this, what to do, organize yourself. And some of them do listen. But if I tell you what to do and you don't do it, and then you end up not doing it, that could actually make you make money, and then you come and ask me for money, you lie. You will never get from me. Because I showed you how to get it legally. I showed you how to get it. And you decided you're not going to do it that way. You want to later on come and ask me for things. Wait still, you go get.
Oh no, we will not. The electoral office failed us. The High Court failed us.
Because Kerry put his people in the right positions. This is why the president was saying he cannot listen to other electoral commissioners. He has to listen to the person in charge, the main person. The main person he has to listen to. When other electoral commissioners tell you they're not ready for elections, you have to listen to the main person. That's what he was saying. So the president is bought, the electoral commissioner, the chief, whoever is bought, police bought, education minister bought, tourism minister. Just name them, all of them. Just to sell out their own people. You see why slavery continued, guys? Because even amongst themselves, when slaves were trying to free themselves, you'd have somebody inside going to tell the white man, oh, this is what they're going to do. And then the white man will prepare to ambush the slaves who were trying to get freedom for every slave.
The appeals court failed us. And you're asking us to go back to this? As my friend would say, no way. But let me remind you, Dominica, that our cause is just. Our fight is the right one, and we shall overcome.
That DJ shaking the lady thing.
You know what? At the end of the day, the observers who heard us, you must have seen an initial OAS report that laments the fact
what happened in there?
that none of its 51 recommendations given in the past have been implemented. The report notes, and I want every Dominican to listen to this from the OAS. It says, no more did they talk about free and fair elections. That is nowhere in the report. Nothing about elections being free and fair. But what they did say was this, and I quote, "It is clear that Dominica cannot proceed to another election under the current rules. It will therefore be essential to have a new electoral framework in place before the next poll. Recognizing that the best time to implement electoral reform is immediately after an election, the mission encourages the authorities of Dominica to proceed with the planned consultations and legislative changes now to ensure there is sufficient time to fully implement all the necessary changes." And that is what they're asking for.
That is why they keep talking about they want elections in January, well, the first quarter of 2024.
We will continue to pursue electoral reform, and will continue to demand that as soon as those reforms are completed, and no later than the first quarter of 2024, that we have new elections in Dominica. Now, I'm not going to spend much time on this other issue. That is something we'll come to later. But another important part of the report of the OAS is they said this. They said that they had observers in every polling district. And look at the quote that they gave. The mission saw very few lines, and in many cases, very few voters at the location.
That's what I did. I actually went around Portsmouth, guys. You guys saw the video. If you didn't check out Mystelics vlogs, when I went around and saw what was taking place in Portsmouth, stopped at the different polling stations, show you guys nothing happening, very few people, 1, 2, or maybe I come back and then there was one person there, and then you went down Portsmouth and a number of other places, and there wasn't much voters. So
patients members observed throughout the day, very few lines, very few voters, yet you have almost half of those who voted in 2019 voting. Now think about it. If in 2019 you had this line, if you have half as much, you should have at least these lines, right? But they said they saw no lines. You observed it, you will hear the lines. Yes, we got 20,000, but that's something for another time. We'll come back to this issue. Dominicans, the journey on which we have embarked will neither be easy nor sweet. At every stage, we will need to battle our political opponents and fight hard for what we need to accomplish. We will need to battle for electoral reform in order to fix our broken system of elections. We will need to battle within our legal system.
The legal system is flawed, so I don't know, you'll have to bypass. Anyways, guys, let me see if I can move on a bit more.
Because they have thrown the support behind our party in order to restore good and honest government. We either get it or we take it.
Yep. The OAS has spoken. No more elections without electoral reform.
Different from what happened. We heard him in 2019. Oh, electoral reform in 100 days. So that is Byron, blah, blah, blah. What happened? He called an election with 2.5 years.
He's a bluff. Scared is a bluff. Scared is clearly a bluff. Even the international airport, 2014, not true. Guys, as soon as we get into office, we will make sure that we start building the international airport. 2014, 2022, no international airport has been built. Remember when you're saying, guys, we will get the Chinese to build the international airport. Then go back and say, oh, guys, we will use our CBI money to build the international airport. Guys, we will be putting $5 million every month to build the international airport. Guys, election calls. Look at what is happening. Boy, I tell you, boy, that is where the Prime Minister is the biggest bluff. Yeah, that's the biggest bluff. But there is still no greater hope. I tell you, the Bible should say that. There is no greater hope than the hope of a Laborite. Hallelujah. Ay, ay, ay. They must say that in church, man. Oh, brothers and sisters, we must have hope, not just hope, but we must have hope like a Laborite. Hallelujah. Oh, my goodness. That is hope, boy, that is a kind of a hope to have.
However, given the behavior of the Prime Minister, we must be prepared to fight and to fight hard for electoral reform.
Yep. He's a bluff. He keeps bluffing.
There may come a time in the not too distant future when we will have to call upon you to take to the streets in mass protests.
Oh, I'll be there for my comment. I bring in the drone. The drone on deck. Am I to bring some of my friends to come down, man? Yes. We will see how that goes. You will see people.
There may come a time in the not too distant future, if we do not get electoral reform, that to take it, we will have to take to the streets.
Stop all businesses from working. All kind of things. Whoa, I know Salisbury blocking road already. I don't even have to ask. Marigot blocking airport, Salisbury blocking road. We don't go nowhere.
We are prepared to lead that fight, but you must be prepared to join in.
Yep.
Has to do with our survival as a democratic country and that of our party. We can have the best set of plans, the best economies, the best planners, the best thinkers in Dominica.
It doesn't matter.
But all of that will come to naught if you're not able to get into government.
Yep.
And to get into government, we need electoral reform.
Yep.
I wish to remind all of us here tonight that no less than 8 members of the United Workers' Party have since 2017 been brought before the courts by the government of Dominica on various charges, including incitement and treason.
And the only person that has been doing incitement is Kerrit. When he's telling the people in Patois, if they come to your step, throw hot water on them. That is inciting violence. And with that steady guys right there, guys, this is where I'm going to stop my reactions. I know some of you are laughing and what have you. But this is serious vibes. This is serious vibes that is taking place in Dominica. Your democracy is at stake. Of course, you know, the Prime Minister stated that the DLP is the lead into the New World Order, where you owe nothing. Any man can just come and see that on stage. Bullface like that and nobody to fire pelts to nothing, that boy. That's crazy. But hey, I guess the people are docile in nature. Or they have been beaten down to the point where they didn't scare the independent candidate. Don't make them people see you. You have to pass out through the back door. Don't make them people see you pass inside my house. Or I wouldn't get a cool out a $300. I wouldn't get a cement bag. I wouldn't get a window pane, a window thing to put on my house. I want to get a window pane. Boy, look thing in that place, boy. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in this regard. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. This is pretty much all about for this reaction video. Don't forget to check out the first one in the comment box below, guys, or the previous one in the comment box below, as well as this full link as well to these vibrations. And of course, in that link there's a longer one where you can definitely check it out right there. Anyways, it's your boy Mystelics. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you can get more videos as they tend to come through. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bam.